Warning: this video contains topics such as death, self-harm, and trauma. If you are sensitive to these topics, please click away. I appreciate all of you. Bonus apology: this was streamed live on my Twitch, so I apologize for any unorganization that may be in this video. However, I hope you all enjoy this, and this is a very important video for me to make, because I've never talked about this, as I will mention later on in the video. Let's get to the video. You know, I still occasionally have, my depressing moments where I'm like just thinking about, actually harming myself, but it is very rare nowadays. And I'm very glad I'm at that point, because it's been a long time coming, honestly. And, I wish everyone that has, that deals with depression and, thoughts of, harming themselves, I hope they can get to, the point that I have, where you're you've moved past it, and you understand that, you might have a shitty day or maybe a shitty week. It can really depend, right? Like for me, like I can have it can be very sudden, right? I could be like fucking happy as hell 1 second and then just feel like I want to fucking, harm myself the next second. It can get pretty drastic, but I mean, nowadays I'm chilling, I don't know what it is. Kind of like just snap all of a sudden. I mean, I'm pretty sure it wasn't, just overnight, right? But it seemed like it was overnight to me, because it didn't feel like I really had any progress, I guess. It just felt like, oh, I was at this point and now I'm here, I'm way better. So, I hope, whoever might be going through that can get to where I'm at, and feel better. I'm sure, I have a long way to go still, with my mental health. But I mean, I addressed the most serious issue, and I could pretty much say it's pretty much, solved. And I mean, I used to be alone a lot, and I didn't have that many friends to talk to. Only had like 1 or 2 or something like that. And it can be pretty fucking overwhelming, even to this day, to talk to a shit ton of people, because now I have a lot of friends. At least people that I would consider my friend. If they feel the same way, I don't know, but there's people, that I care for, I care about, and, for me, like, a lot of people will complain about, like, oh, you're trauma dumping on me, like, if they're friends with someone, like, oh, I mean, it's like, how I look at it is like sure, there's friends that you wouldn't trauma dump on, or at least, like, vent to, but like, there's some friends that you're close to and you would, right? And it's like, I don't know how to explain it, right? It's gonna be pretty complicated, at least for me, because I'm not good at wording things. It's like some people, I don't even know, because I'm not trying to make it sound like it, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole either, but like, some people are just like, oh, I don't want you trauma dumping, I have my own issues to deal with. It's like understandable, I guess, but it's also like, if you consider them, your friend, it's also like, it's always those people that are like, oh yeah, you should go to a therapist instead of me.
Bro, I hate motherfuckers like that. Like,
It's
if
like,
you're my best friend, expect me to come to you when
yeah.
there's like issues that I need to fucking talk about.
Yeah, it's like, it's not even, it's not even you wanting them to help you. It's just you wanting to talk about it and have someone listen.
Yeah.
Because even just having someone there to listen to you, you don't even
It's
have to
better than
give them,
nothing.
you don't even have to give advice or
You
anything.
can just sit there and be fucking quiet. Just listen.
But I guess,
All you really
some
gotta
people
do.
are just, I'm gonna be a dick, but I guess some people are just too soft for that. But I mean,
Low-key,
I
that's
was,
why I stick to my small circle.
I just
'Cause
never
I
understood
don't like
that.
stuff. Yeah.
I never understood that. Even whenever I would be having my own issues where, I would want to fucking harm myself and have
Yeah.
attempted to harm myself, I would still be there for friends.
Yeah. Like
that was one way of me to have joy, honestly,
Mhm.
helping my friends if they need it. Because do I want anyone going through the same shit that I am? No.
Nope, no one does. No one should ever have to feel like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Everyone goes through that kind of pain at some point in the life. Not to sound like religious, but the way I look at it is, because this is the only terminology I've really heard, is God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. I think
Hmm.
that's a decent way to put it.
Yeah, I think that's how they say it, yeah.
Is like, you may not think you are as strong as you
Think
are,
you are, yeah.
but you have to keep pushing yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
why, to
literally,
me, it hurts to see the number of suicides that happen per year, because I'm like, there could have been someone there to help them, or in the
yeah.
case that they actually needed help,
Yeah.
they could have went and got it.
Yeah.
But they
It's,
had decided, oh, let's just put away this pain permanently,
yeah.
not just temporarily deal
Yeah.
with the pain.
Like, there's people that care about you, even though, you know, because
They
I
may
know
not
how
feel
it
like
is
it.
in that mindset, right? You just don't listen to anyone, even
Yep.
if people do reach out. You know, you don't. You know, I get it, but at the same time, it's just like you really need to somehow, you know, however you can get out of that, you know. Because it's kind of like sometimes it's like you could help yourself a little bit, you know.
Sometimes there is situations where you are able to help yourself, and then there's sometimes situations where you can't
Yeah,
do fucking
sometimes there's
anything.
people that like I don't want to go through this, but like no one cares about me, and you know they actually don't have anyone that cares about them.
Yeah.
They haven't heard like someone say like, "Oh, I care about you and I'm here for you," like if you need me, kind of thing. Which is
Yeah,
actually
my
really
mom's
fucking sad.
boyfriend said pretty much the same thing on the phone earlier.
Like,
Because he told me
yeah.
that desk, the desk that he got me for Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
he spent more on that than the amount of money he gave me just for doing all of my school shit.
Jesus.
Yeah. And I went, jeez, bro must love me.
Yeah. Goddamn.
But that's like one way to show that you actually care about someone.
Yeah.
Is you may not have to spend like that kind of money on it,
Yeah.
but it could be something
The
small
thought
and
that
cheap.
counts.
It's something you're getting them something that made you maybe think about them.
Yeah.
You don't always need to get expensive stuff.
But like, okay, I'm pretty sure I've told you this, but I'm gonna, you know, say it on stream for the record. This is gonna be pretty personal and deep, but like, you know, honestly, I don't think I've ever said this on stream before. Whenever I was 11, you know, I kind of found my father dead, you know, like after school. You know, and I had to see that. And when I you know, in elementary school, I was in, you know, like therapy. Like, I guess
Yeah.
it was in school therapy. I had no recollection of that until my mother told me, like, a few years ago. But, fast forward to, like, whenever I was in, like, middle school, you know, I was best friends with someone in middle school and, like, during class, because we were in, like, the 3rd floor, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna jump out the window. And
Ooh.
my friend's like, okay. And he kind of told like the teacher or something, and then the therapist, or not the therapist, the counselor, the school's counselor, like called me down there and was like, you know, what was that comment that you made about, like, you good? Like, kind of thing. And so, you know, I got an in-school therapist and stuff like that. Again, I will never fucking forget what my therapist said. Every time I tell, like, because I had a total of like 3 different therapists in school, because like middle school, and then I had a different one in like I think high school, and then another one in high school, because I think one of them was like, I told them, you know, what happened, and they legitimately said to my face, I don't know how you're still alive. And you know, that kind of hit me, you know.
Yeah,
It's
when
still,
you
it
told me that
really made an
said that, I was
impact.
like, yeah, that may be very hard to have seen, but I'm like, I don't really think someone would just go up and kill themselves over
I
seeing their
mean,
father's dead
it-
body.
I mean, it can be pretty fucking dramatic.
It can be pretty traumatic, but in my mind, I'm like, to that point where you just gotta kablooey yourself.
I mean, I can see why.
Yeah, personally, I can see why, but I'm like, over something as small as, like, just a parent, like, for me, if it was my whole family, yeah, I'm gonna do it. But if it's just one family member, I don't know.
I mean, I can see why. Like, for me, right? I was the closest with my dad, and I live with him for those
Yeah.
11 years. So, kind of, you know, makes sense. it's crazy. I honestly never talked about this publicly on stream before, because I never figured, anyone needed to know.
Mhm.
It's pretty fucking personal, and I don't want people to like pity me or anything. That's why I usually don't say it, honestly.
Yeah.
For that to happen, it can be very traumatizing and very. I was depressed. That was, what started my depression. Because
Yeah,
I
that
used
makes
to be a
sense.
very, very extroverted person, I'd say. And
Mm.
I kind of like just did a complete 180 during that. And
Oh.
I can see, as much as I hate to say it, like, because I hate fucking, I'm not religious. Everything happens for a reason. I mean, it shouldn't, that kind of thing shouldn't happen. But I can tell you, it has made me, into who I am today. Pretty much. It has
That's a good
shaped
way to look at it.
who I've become. And it has impacted me in a positive way. Sadly, sometimes negative things can make a positive impact on you. That's just how it is, Again, it definitely sucks, right? And I've always, wanted to be like, I've always had those thoughts, like, oh, I wonder what life would be like if he was still here, kind of thing. Instead of me sitting in his room streaming, because that is currently where I'm at, chat. I'm currently in his room where it all happened. And
My
honestly,
question is, how far are you from working?
I'm staring at it right now, basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know that sounded bad coming out, but I'm like, was just kind of curious because I knew you're in his
It's,
room, but I'm like,
yeah, because
there's
it
no way
happened in
you're
his
like
room.
sitting right on top of where he died.
Not really, no. A little bit next to it, technically.
Hmm.
Because his desk was not in the same place that my desk was. But
Ah.
it's pretty close. Yeah. But it kind of goes to show, like, looking back on everything, right? Like, I'm fucking strong, apparently.
Yes.
Like, because I'm not, I'm not feeling really, like, sad or depressed or anything about it.
Hmm.
And I mean, kind of gone through the stages of grief already, It's just kind of how it
Yeah.
is,
Life goes on.
Yep.
After years, there's not much really you can fucking do about
Yeah.
it besides just go, damn, that happened, and move
Yeah.
on.
I mean,
That's
all
exactly
you
how I
can
was with
do
my
is
GG.
just remember.
Mhm. That's exactly why I got a picture of my GG sitting on my dresser.
Yeah.
So I got one after her funeral.
Because, I
Everyone
mean,
got one.
that's all you can do. I don't want to end it depressingly. I just want to say, like, things will get better. You might feel like absolute hell for, like, a decade. But
A
it will get
decade, a
better.
year, you you never know how
It
long it will
depends on the
take.
person. Yeah, it depends
Yes,
on the
it
person.
depends on the person. It may take, like as I said, it may take you a month. It may take you a year. It may take you fucking 15 years.
Yeah.
It takes time
But just
to
make
get
the
over
most of
certain
it,
things.
man. Make the most of it.
Exactly.
Life is short. If you need to do, like, if there's things that bring you any amount of joy, do it.
Go
As
with
long as you're not,
fast.
as long as you're not fucking murdering people. I just want people, to know I've gone through shit, there's a lot of people out there that, I've seen people say shit to me like, "Oh, you don't know what it feels like." You literally have nothing. You have no clue about me, bro.
You
Like, I'm not gonna say, because again, people process everything differently. They handle everything differently. So it's not like I can say, "Oh yeah, I've been through worse than you." I would never fucking say that bullshit,
Mhm.
because it is bullshit. That's what it is. Like, I don't know how you're processing, like, something, Some
Yeah.
people can take something that I would think is, lesser. Like, if I was in that situation, but also knowing what I've been in before, yeah, it
Yeah.
would be nothing. But for someone else, that could be just massive for them, you know? Like, it could be
Yeah.
so bad for them. And that's why I say, like, you can't really... A lot of people like to compare themselves to others, but you really cannot do that.
Yeah, you can't compare trauma to other people's trauma.
I mean, I'm talking in general, but yes, trauma too. If you want to compare, like, not trauma-wise, but, like, if you want to compare yourself to someone, do it in a constructive manner that will help you grow. Like, oh, yeah, use the motivation, like, use it as a way to improve yourself, kind of thing. Like, oh, this person's better at so-and-so than me. So what you do is you use that as an inspiration to improve and maybe even surpass them one day. But again, I don't really like to live life like that. I'm just gonna live life out the fuck I want it. So I mean, you know, life is what you make it, as they say. So I mean, that's basically all I have to say about the topic. To like wrap up that whole conversation. Yeah, the whole like therapist thing really like, I mean, if you can tell how much of an impact it made on me, considering the fact that I still remember it to this day, even though it's been, I don't even know, 2015, 2014, I don't even know. And you know, if someone, you know, gets motivated by hearing my story, you know, I'm glad, because sometimes it can be like that. Like, knowing someone has gone through something can make them, you know, like, kind of change their view on things, on like you, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I had no clue they went through that. Like, I don't really want to be like an inspiration to anyone, but I mean, if it's gonna happen, it happens, I guess. I just personally don't see myself as someone that can be inspirational. But I mean, you know, I guess it comes with the territory of, you know, going through something like that. 'Cause I mean, there's some people that, you know, actually go through worse, in my opinion, and there's some people that, you know, they definitely, you know, deserve more than, you know, what I deserve, right? I mean, that's just how I think, my outlook on it. Me, I don't, you know, no one owes me anything type shit, you know, like, I do apologize for, you know, talking about this pretty serious and like heavy topic, but I just wanted to get it out there. I mean, it's been long enough since I've been a VTuber, so figure why not? Because I'm very open about talking about, you know, personal stuff. I don't really care if I'm a, you know, supposed to be pretty secretive and shit like that. I don't really fucking care. I'm a person. What am I gonna do?